The future of advanced fuels is here. It's now. In fact, it's on the Capitol steps. We have RNG vehicle pulling a hydrogen generator, charging an electric car. Those are all fuels that are here in Utah. Utah can lead the way in these advanced fuels and set a benchmark for the nation.
Hydrogen at scale in Utah is a turning point for Utah's energy sector. Our statewide partnerships are truly leading the way to implementing clean transportation options that make sense for both urban and rural communities. We are all focusing on the advanced fuels and energy options to propel Utah into the future of clean transportation and low emissions, zero emissions. And one of the most innovative transportation projects is in southern Utah, and it's in a little gateway community called Kanab, which is the gateway community of the East Zion Park. They are woefully in need of a new water waste treatment project, and so we said, hey, what about capturing your methane on your water waste treatment, turning it into hydrogen, turning it into renewable natural gas, and electricity.
Utah is the crossroads of the West. And now we're going to be the hydrogen hub for the crossroads of the West. And we have Utah manufacturers who are making these applications affordable and even cheaper than diesel. That's a game changer for Utah. We will now see hydrogen refueling stations opened in the first quarter of 2022. We have the opportunity with renewable natural gas, for example, of being able to take methane that would otherwise be emitted in the air from our landfills and from our hog farms and be able to capture that and not have just zero emissions, but actually net negative. Look for legislation this next session that will strongly encourage our freight switchers across Utah and especially along the Wasatch Front to convert to zero emission freight switchers beginning in 2025 and concluding in 2050.
Biotec is a distributed hydrogen production company that invests in communities to build local hydrogen infrastructure and create permanent jobs that accelerate the energy transition. On a well-to-wheel basis, hydrogen fuel cell vehicles can reduce NOx, SOx, and particulate matter emissions per mile by more than 90% and lower carbon intensity by a minimum of 40% versus diesel. When possible, hydrogen should always be produced locally and as close to the source of application as possible. Now, Utah-based fleet operators look to decarbonize their operations will have a zero-emission solution at hand. Utah is poised to be at the center of a regional network of hydrogen hubs, accelerating clean energy adoption throughout the western U.S. Biotec's on-site distributed hydrogen generation technology is highly energy efficient and avoids emissions from long transports that use liquefaction and delivery of hydrogen. Combined with the 2 to 3 times greater efficiency of fuel cells versus internal combustion engines, Project Beehive can radically reduce pollution from heavy-duty diesel vehicles on the Wasatch Front. Once fully operational, low-cost, low-carbon hydrogen will be available to fuel vehicles and equipment for the zero-emissions transport of goods. Many people think that this is something that's from the future. This is something that's happening today. With our technology, we are at parity with diesel in terms of cost. And as we look at building the larger units, we'll be below cost. This includes a wide range of applications of fuel cell powered vehicles, including cranes, yard tractors, drayage yards, long-haul transport trucks, and railway locomotives. It also can provide hydrogen for other applications, such as power generators and light towers, like the ones outside that you'll see today. The days of fossil fuel vehicles are fading away, and together we can make this happen today.
The purpose of UCare is to focus on practical solutions. Some of these strategies are as simple as not idling. And then some of these solutions require a little bit bigger vision, like the application of innovative technologies like hydrogen to reduce our emissions. We know that about half of our air pollution comes from mobile sources. Emissions from gasoline and diesel vehicles are a major source of our pollution. As we look at the future of vehicles, we see the potential for hydrogen-powered fuel cell electric vehicles to help reduce emissions by emitting only water and warm air. Because the transportation sector accounts for a majority of our emissions, using hydrogen along with other alternative fuel vehicles, such as electric and hybrid, for transportation has the potential to be incredibly beneficial to improving our air here in Utah.
You know, about 23% of the truck vehicle miles traveled per year or the vehicle miles traveled per year in Utah are trucks hauling cargo. That is double the national average. 90% of the goods movement in the United States is handled by trucks. It's a huge impact and a hugely important sector of the economy. The market is moving very rapidly toward advanced fuels, decarbonization, and lowering the impact of goods movement in our supply chains. Advanced fuels and hydrogen is one of the steps that's being taken in that regard. And so it's critically important that we do that here in Utah. The Port Authority is taking a lead role in trying to provide the infrastructure necessary so that these cleaner vehicles, these cleaner ways of moving goods can be deployed here in Utah. So we need to build the infrastructure to support the deployment of these vehicles. Build this infrastructure out so that we can have a cleaner, greener, more sustainable goods movement industry here in Utah.